What about that one?
Well, you know, obviously we put ones that we would all agree on. Okay. You know, it looks like there are nuclei at different heights. It could be a simple columnar, and it's just the way the section is cut. Got to be careful sometimes. Okay. If indeed that one is a simple columnar, I'd put it wrong.
Dr. Monaco.
That's okay.
Dr. Monaco, and then on this one, I would, the next one, I was thinking that was going to be simple cuboidal just by the shape of the nuclei.
Oh, we didn't ask to identify this one, did we?
Yes, you did.
Okay. What did we call it?
Simple
I think
columnar.
you called it, yeah.
Simple columnar, okay, because it's a large duct, all right? However, and I would accept that. If you called it simple cuboidal because you're seeing nuclei like that, I can't argue with you, okay? And I would probably accept that as an answer.
Is it fair to look at the nuclei as a...
It is.
Okay.
It is fair to look at the nuclei, okay? Now, I think on the exam that we give on Tuesday, I think everyone will probably agree what the tissue is, okay? But on a glass slide exam, okay, I may have one where all the nuclei look like this, and yours may have one where they look like that, okay? And I'd call it simple columnar, and you would call it simple cuboidal, and I'd mark you wrong until you come and ask me to look at your slide. And then I'd come back and give you credit, okay? And the same thing with that other slide. You know, that it looked like, the slide I may have been making the questions up from looked more like one tissue, but when you see your slides, you might have called it legitimately based on what you see on your slide. Okay, because I didn't know where those organs, from what organs they came from, you know, as I'm doing it this way.
I think also on this one, go back one, I think it's saying that this is supposed to be simple columnar.
I think this is simple columnar. This is
Okay, I
oviduct.
just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, this is simple. This is oviduct, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and I will tell you how I am determining that it's oviduct. Okay. Now you may not resolve them right there, but I can see on some of these slides cilia, like that, and I see some slides like that don't have cilia. These are very characteristic of the oviduct, where you have cells that are ciliated and cells that are not ciliated, sometimes right next to each other. Okay, the non-ciliated cells are sometimes called PEG cells, and the appearance or lack of appearance of cilia depends on where the person is in the monthly cycle. So the appearance of cilia is very much dependent on the hormones that are acting on the tissue. The top surface is up here. So this epithelium is a stratified squamous.
No, it's not keratinized.
The surface is not on the slide. It's here. Okay, it got clipped a little bit in putting it up on for the computer images. Okay, but it's a stratified squamous.
That's non-keratinized, right?
Yeah, that one and that one are non-keratinized. That one is keratinized. Okay, this is the keratin layer, like so, and it's a little bit overstained. So, but if you see some of the nuclei right near the surface, they're very flat. So it's a stratified squamous with keratin, even though these nuclei look like they're more oval or cuboidal.
On the previous slide, if we didn't include non-keratinized, would it, or do you only add that when it does?
It's just stratified squamous. You don't have to say non-keratinized. Yeah, just like on a simple columnar, you don't have to say simple columnar with microvilli. Okay?
Oh.
How would we know that the previous slide was not keratinized if we couldn't see the surface?
Technically, you couldn't. Okay, if you can't see the surface, you couldn't. Okay. I think, and it's just, I think the ones that are projected in the lab, the surface might be there. I think when I formatted it to fit on the computer this way, it just got cut off.
The same slide, you can see it.
This is a little bit trickier one. Identify this epithelium.
Stratified.
This is stratified columnar, okay? And I'm going to make that call based on cells that are in that area. Maybe on cells that are in that area. Or cells that are in that area. Okay. Remember, you're calling something stratified because there's more than one layer of nuclei. And here we're calling it columnar because in those general areas you can see the cells where the nuclei look like they're oval shaped. So a taller columnar cell. But yet, if you were to take the section here where it's more tangential, I don't really know what the surface looks like there. Okay, you know, you could have an area where the nuclei look more oval, and you might be tempted to call it stratified cuboidal. Okay, and that's a tough call because these are getting to be some of the larger ducts. Okay, larger excretory ducts are going to go from a stratified cuboidal to a stratified columnar. Okay, so some of the times when you're making a judgment call on a glass slide, you've got to kind of look around and kind of get a general impression of what the majority of the cells look like on the surface layer. Because again, remember, plane of section could influence what the cells look like. Identify the tissue. Those are the big dome cells on transitional epithelium. Okay? Big dome cells on transitional epithelium. Okay? Look at this one.
Yeah.
I'm in one cell, and there are two nuclei there. Oftentimes, transitional epithelium can be binucleate. That can be a hint sometimes. Sometimes the transitional epithelium can have polyploid nuclei. Again, look at the big dome cells, really pushing out as those big dome cells. And then this nucleus cross-sectional area versus that nucleus cross-sectional area. Okay? That one's twice as big as that one. Okay?
Why?
So sometimes the transitional epithelial cells can be polyploid. Okay? This one is 2C, and that one is 4C. The cell cycle and biochemistry, right?